What's up? It's Jared from the Dapper Den Barbershop in Ridgefield, Connecticut, and today we have Lorenzo. So Lorenzo, what are we planning on doing today?
Knock down the winter growth, more of a springtime length, clean up the beard, sides, a little off the top.
Okay, so we're gonna do like a 2 and blend it in and take some length down. All right, sounds good to me. So I'm just gonna disinfect my tools here. I'm gonna start off with my 2 clip, pretty much take down the lower part of his hair. I'm gonna run through the bottom of his hair to create my fade line. And then we're gonna chop down the top a little and blend everything all together. He likes length, but he likes it cropped on the bottom. So now I'm just gonna take the 8 clip, it's the biggest clip we got here, and just take a little bulk out, and then I'm gonna go back in with the shears and all that. This is gonna leave about 1 inch around the side. That's usually what he likes to work with. Now in this case, I'm leaving a lot of the length around the crown.
You're not going to chop it off at a 6 this time?
Nah. We got an 8. Now in this situation, I like to do his hair with a lot of texture. So I'm not gonna sit here and layer and do all that stuff. I'm gonna texturize the top like crazy. I'm literally gonna chop into it. Kind of see where we're going. Now this is gonna take a lot of that chunk off again too. I'm just running through with this. And like I said, it's not gonna be even. It's gonna be very texturized. We're just taking off a lot of this weight still. Okay, so I took some of the bulk out. I'm still gonna chop the top down. Right now I'm gonna use the Tori Hanzo, and we're just pretty much gonna blend the 2 into what I got up here, which would be kind of like the 8, which would be about 1 inch. He doesn't like it too drastic. So I'm just gonna continue to blend this. I just blended that side a little bit. I'm gonna blend this side. What I wanna do is, I'm doing this quickly because I've done it. This is more my technique. You might have your own. I'm still kind of curving the comb where it's flat against his head, and I'm kind of seeing off over here, and then I'm going up a little bit into the top line there. That's why it looks like I'm doing it so quick, because I am. I'm still gonna work this out. Then I'm gonna go back in and I'm gonna do more of like a clipper over comb type of situation on the sides here. This is just another one of my forms to take the bulk out. So now I'm using the Babless liner here, and I'm doing more of a clipper over comb to keep my blending going. Now you could probably do this a lot of other ways. I got multiple ways of doing it. This is how I'm comfortable with it. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now I'm gonna spin him around. If James wants to come this way so you can see with the lighting better now. Thank you. We're just gonna continue to go up. I'm still flush against here with my 2. I'm making sure that down here there's no hair sticking out, and I'm going with the curvature of his head to slowly blend up. Now I'm just gonna do a couple of different things to clean up and help me with the cut. I'm gonna go around the ears and get rid of some excess hair that I don't need. Now, you hear how it got quieter, because that's not just a disinfectant, it's also a lubricant. So over time, you got to continue to lubricate.
Oh, they're gonna burn you for
Boom.
Dude, that's stupid.
Okay, so now back to the wall seniors. Cordless. No dinging now. Like the last videos. No. Okay. Now I'm just gonna taper out the bottom again because it was a little blotchy. So I'm just hitting that. And then I'm gonna go back over that later with my blade. Now that we're back to the top area, I'm just playing around. I like to go forward to try to find the natural part and see how things go. If it's going in one direction, I work with that. I don't try to go against it. This way, at the end of the haircut, everything will fall nicely. See how all that's falling now? Now, like I said, I'm not layering, I'm texturizing. So, the reason why I'm going up and I'm kind of going straight up with the hair like this, I'm not layering, like I said. I want it to be choppy. I want it to be texturized. So I'm just following through somewhat like I would normally, but we're just chopping at it. And I'm trying to see how everything is falling after I'm doing it, if it falls nicely on his head. Okay, so if James wants to step over here, I forgot what his name is. I'm gonna take a look from a distance. It's a nice blend, but I see a couple little spots I wanna play around with and massage out. So I'm gonna take my wall senior again with my 2-clip and just play around with what I need to. Because obviously we started with the 2, so we'll end up with the 2. And I like to step back as well and see what the cut looks like from a distance, because sometimes it does crazy things that you won't see when you're up close. Okay, so there's a lot of waviness throughout his hair. Sometimes what people are doing, they're taking the brushes and the blow dryer to do it. This is a new tool that James put me onto that pretty much what this does is it will straighten the hair with a temperature as well. I don't want to bring it too high. I'm going to leave it at like 340 because we don't want to do any damage to the hair or the face. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're actually going to straighten the beard out with this heated brush. And you're going to see it already automatically started to straighten out. This is a flatter surface. There was somebody on YouTube talking about this, that if you actually come down here, you're going with the curvature of the chin, which is not what you want to do. You want to make more of a flatter surface by maybe going to the side and going to the side and going back down and coming out. And this will straighten the hairs out for me, where when I do my bottom line, because he wants to take some off, I'll be able to get a straight line. Okay, so now that that's straightened the beard out, it shows how much length is really here. Now, we spoke before that you wanted to take it down to like more of a summer feel. How short do you think that your chin being here and the length being down here, how short do you think you want to take off? I mean, are we going like a good inch?
I'd split the difference.
Okay, so we're gonna split the difference, and then you want to come straight down on the sides, or do you want to curve it a little bit?
I'd follow whatever line.
Okay, I think I would like it straight down and then kind of curve it a little bit, and then we're gonna also touch up the mustache area, right?
Correct.
Okay, perfect. So now I'm combing it down. We already pretty much straightened it out, show the length. Now that's gonna help me when I want to cut it down and square it off on the bottom. So I'm just gonna go in now, get my first couple of cuts in. Now he did want to take off substantial length, but still leave a nice shape.
Just hit your head on the camera.
As I knocked myself out on the camera. Now, with it being so straight, it's a lot easier to work with than combing and combing and combing and combing. You still want to comb because there's always going to be that little bit that you want to work with. But, I mean, if the camera could see, I don't know. It's real clean in there. And I still got a little more to go. This is gonna be a lot easier for him when he puts the product in to just lay everything flat, and there's not gonna be too much sticking out once I finish shaping this. Now I'm gonna go back with my liner after this. I'm taking bulk out, as I like to do. See how straight that is getting? Now, it might poof up a little bit after this when he goes home and he washes, but it's still gonna be a lot easier for him to work with, and it has a nice clean line to it. Now, there's different products out there that work for different situations. I recommend you go on Beardbrand's website to check out what product works best for your situation. So we were going back through again. I noticed that I didn't like the way something looked. James didn't like the way something looked. So the reason why we're going back in is because he has a cowlick in this area and he has a cowlick in that area. So the hair is growing up, it's coming down. You gotta really finesse these areas.
See right there.
Now I'm just gonna go with the grain a little bit. I'm not flush on his head. I'm kind of gliding lightly with the back end and kind of curving out just to get all these little hairs to do what I wanted to do. Now he did want to take some length off of this mustache because it's huge. So we're gonna go back in with that in a minute. Right now I'm just laying and still shaping. Now we're gonna tackle the mustache. I'm gonna use a couple of different techniques. I'm gonna use the clipper, clipper over comb. I'm gonna go back in with scissors, whatever I need to do to get this out of his way. He wants to leave the top area natural, but we want to expose a little bit of the lip because he doesn't like it in his mouth when he's eating his food. He wants his food in his mouth. Now people do different things. I like to curve this around and kind of blend it into this side area here. Now, we were talking about this before. He still has a lot of length there. He doesn't want to keep. We disagree. But at least now, even with what I just did there, if he wanted to keep the length, this is all out of his mouth. I'm using the comb at different angles to catch what I want. Okay, so I just took the towel out of the microwave. We're gonna be using a towel on Lorenzo today. I like the criticism in the last couple of videos about maybe, covering up more because the hair was going down the customer's shirt. It's always a good thing to take criticism and learn from it. Yeah, so we're using a gel. And I like the gel because it's clear. I can see what I'm doing. I mentioned that in other videos. I'm gonna start off with the neckline and then we'll go up to the top. Now, I'm noticing that, the hair is growing upwards. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to step around, pull up, and I'm going with the grain. Now, it's never going to be 100% smooth unless you go against the grain, but a lot of irritation comes from that. Now, I'm noticing he has that cowlick, so now it's going down. This side is going back up. Stretching the skin as I'm doing this. Now we're gonna tackle the top area. Stretching the skin here. Covering his eye so it doesn't poke it out. So right now, I'm getting my shape. I'm gonna clean this up. I'm gonna do the other side, and then I will go over it with a dry shave to make sure that my line is straight. Now, sometimes people line up the top and then they do the razor. I don't know, 9 times out of 10, I like to just not line up the top and just do it strictly with the razor. I feel it comes out better. Okay, so now we're doing a dry shave because, like me and James were just discussing earlier, things are crooked. People see other things that other people don't see. I like to go back in and triple check whatever I have to do. Make sure it's perfect. So now we're gonna be using the Beardbrand. This is the Temple Smoke. This is a styling balm. This will actually help with the hair, the little stragglers. So we're gonna put some of that on. I'm rubbing it into my palm, heating it up, massaging it into Lorenzo's hair. So now we're gonna be using some pomade to style his hair. A little dab, warming up as well. Now, this is all falling like I wanted it to. He doesn't have to put too much thought into it. So, how we looking, Lorenzo? Excellent. Thank you again from the Dapper Den Barbershop.
Dude, you want simplicity? Grab the styling balm. It's designed for your hair and your beard. It will give a satin finish with a medium hold. No, it's not a conditioning product. It's a styling product. Styling balm over at beardbrand.com.